Hello, everybody. We are here with Makenna MYLER. We've been chit-chatting about all sorts of stuff that I figured we might as well just start recording it and putting it out into the world. So before we start, did you marry Mike because of the last name?
I'm so glad you asked that because that was a big allure. I was like, I love running. Yeah, it was very fitting, that's for sure. I actually ran a mile the morning of our wedding because I was becoming a miler. And I was like, I gotta have a faster PR. And I still think that. I'm like, I need to run the mile again to own up to my last name.
Well, you have some pretty stout mile records behind you, 2 pregnant mile
Yeah,
records, right? And
it's
then you
enough.
also did randomly the Jean mile.
Yeah.
Where what
Yeah, it was for mental health awareness. Yes.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Running in jeans, which is you don't really naturally put those 2 things together.
But it catches you. You're like, "Wait, why would you do that?" So then you gotta talk about it.
There you go, and anytime I think about you running in jeans, which is just a really weird sentence to say, I'm like, "How did she not chafe?" Because I mean, how fast did you run? It was a 4 or something, right?
Yeah, I ran 4:36:37. We took the 37 because it was a hand time. But you know what? It's actually kind of fun because, like, running in a sports bra and jeans is a cool look. I was like, "Maybe I should do this more often."
It's very nice, which we're wait, I have to do the math now. You were
I
you were
didn't
an
know.
infant in the 90s, right?
I was a top I mean, I was 8 or 9, 10, 8, 8 in the 90s, yes.
Okay.
But
So, yeah.
I didn't honestly, the chafing, I mean, a mile is just so short,
Uh-huh.
and I feel like chafing happens if you're really
That's
it's
true.
really humid or if it's longer, so it really wasn't too bad at all.
It's hot, though. I watched the video years ago, and
It
it
was
was
hot.
funny. Where were you?
We were in
California?
California.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there were
Yeah.
palm trees, and it looked hot.
Yeah. I don't know, I guess, yeah, there was a comfortable pair of jeans. I went to the thrift store on the way to that workout and just picked those up and was like, "Well, I hope these work."
Didn't you have to not have too much spandex or lycra or
Yes.
something something
Yes.
crazy?
And I, like, took a picture of that and sent that to them to be like, "Am I in the clear?" And they're like, "Yeah, you're good." I'm trying to remember now, I think they were a pair of, like, American Eagle jeans or something.
Once in a while, I will see people when I'm running wearing jeans and they're running or they're running in
Really?
khakis, and I'm always so fascinated. What is your story? I mean, did
Yeah.
you just get the running bug that day and you were like, I'm sitting at my desk at my computer and I have to go running right now. I don't
Yeah.
care what I'm wearing, or are you running from something? I don't know the story.
Honestly, that first part, I feel like I can imagine, like, it's like being like, "I don't have any running clothes." Like, I think about myself back in junior high and being like, "I don't have any running clothes," and I just run in my jeans or my, like, baggy shorts, like you were
So you
saying,
had been training for this Gene Mile since your
forever.
youth.
I knew
So
it was in my future.
the really tough question that I'm gonna ask you, get ready.
Okay.
What was harder, running the Gene Mile or running the mile at 8 something months pregnant?
Not 9 months. So my first
9
one
months.
was 10 days before I gave birth, and then Wakefield came late. So I think his ended up being like 2.5 weeks or something before.
Oh
But
my gosh.
yeah. um, okay, I can't believe you have to ask that. Come on.
So did for you to get the pregnant mile record, did you have to be close to full term?
So you know what? That's just a made up thing.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, there's no record. Everyone is like, you have the world record. I'm like, who else has ran that? No, I actually have talked to women who's like, I saw you do that and I wanted to try it, so they tried it, which I think is so
It
awesome.
is so awesome.
And I would
Really, I
love.
mean, on a huge level, that's awesome because it's
Yeah,
just dispelling so many myths about exercise and pregnancy.
yes, I totally agree. But yeah, so it's not real record. I'm like, how could you even measure that, right? Yeah, it's like, are you 9 months yet? Like, I don't know, my baby's late. Yeah, it's like, just doesn't matter. But
It just doesn't matter, but the first one, did it really start as a dare from your husband where didn't he say, "I don't think you can break 8 minutes. I'll pay you $100," or something? I mean, is that
So
true? Is that how it went down?
I mean, yes and no. So we were telling his parents that I was pregnant, and while we were chatting, I was kind of doing the math in my head with like how much weight I would gain and just how much I would slow down, and I was like, I think that I could still like break 8 minutes in the mile. And he started laughing his head off, and he's like, if you do that, like I'm gonna take you to the hospital. You're gonna have the baby right there. And I was like, no, we'll do that. And that's when he's like, I bet you $100, which also we share a bank account, so it doesn't matter.
It
He's like, I
doesn't
bet you
matter.
$100 you couldn't do that. Honestly, we forgot about it the whole pregnancy. We moved back to California because we were in Australia. One of
Wow.
my friends who had come to our wedding was like, "Hey, remember how you do a mile at like important markers of your life? Like, are you going to do a mile while pregnant?" And so I was like, "Well, I actually did like bet my husband." And we had kind of just already knew I was well under that because I'd been doing workouts like at
Yeah.
6 minute pace. So it wasn't like can you break 8 minutes? It was like, let's just see like how far under we can get the like 6 minute barrier really at that point. And when I ran it, I actually was ticked. I was like, I ran so slow. I was like that, like, cause I went out, I wanted to run 5:20 and I ended up running 5:25 and I kind of died. And I was like, dang it. Like that was so bad. Like don't tell anyone that I even ran that. Yeah. Anyway, so he ended up posting it and people were interested, but it was kind of a funny reality I was living in, I guess.
Yeah, well, I remember we talked about that, and you got a lot of positive and negative attention because that's
Yeah.
the world we live in.
Yes, totally, totally. I had a fun comment from one of the guys. He's a master's runner who was like, I've seen pregnant women run marathons. He's like, but I have not seen a pregnant woman run as fast as you are running. And I was like, oh, interesting. Like I just kept like little things kept kind of going over my head that I didn't realize were abnormal. So it was just funny. There were some very people were mostly supportive, especially people who actually knew me. Everyone was so supportive.
Yes,
Yeah.
because I mean, I remember one of the articles quoted a doctor that was like, "That's what her body is used to doing, then
Yeah.
that's what her body can do."
Yeah. Yeah. And also, like, if you're getting checkups and everything's fine, like, there's not like distress in the baby, then I think that's a pretty good sign that things are okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your body I coach a lot of pregnant athletes, and I'm always your body is a very good communicator.
Yes.
It will tell you if you're doing something that's going to harm you or the baby.
Yes. I totally agree.
Yeah, so let's kind of start there. So that was our little warm up question. Usually I ask kind of random questions, but well, I guess I did ask. I mean, talking about running in jeans is pretty random. And you're going to bring that back. That's going to be your calling card.
Sure.
Just-
Sure.
you're running a half tomorrow. So you got some Levi's or what are you running in
That'll,
jorts?
yeah, with the humidity, then I'll really have some chafing. Then I can really figure out how to work through the chafe.
This is what I know. This is what the people want to know.
Yeah.
How do you not chafe when running in jeans? No, seriously. Okay, backtrack. So Ryan Hall is your coach still?
No, so he actually stepped away from running.
Okay.
When I went pro, I was coaching myself, and then I decided to go with Ryan, because I wanted to take things a little more seriously, which ended up paying huge dividends. He was amazing. I loved being coached by him. But yeah, he's decided to step away, and so then we, as a family, kind of decided where we would go next. And I graduated from BYU in Utah,
Okay.
and I knew Ed and he was starting a pro group and I really liked Ed. And so I was like, let's go back to Utah and just see if it's a good fit. And it's been a really great fit so far. It's been just an awesome group of pros to work out with. And so right now Ed's coaching me.
Okay, Ed Idestone. Yes, I had Kira on a couple weeks ago too. So you run with her.
Yes. And I told Kira that I was like, look, I really like Ed, but a big reason I came here was to come train with you. And I love training with Kira and it's been really fun learning from her and training next to her. She is an incredible athlete. She's incredible.
And just an incredible human.
Yes, yes. And an incredible human. It's like every time we all interact with her, we know why everyone loves her. She just gives so much of herself and but she's awesome. And the reason I think I emphasize athlete really was because I knew she was an incredible human,
Mhm.
but it is fascinating to run next to her and see, like, how hard she goes. She goes hard,
Yeah.
and she can access a lot of herself. It's amazing.
That's, a friend of mine actually has run with you guys from time to time, and she said that it's just wonderful to watch her work. And when Kira was on, she talked about really enjoying mentoring the younger runners getting into the marathon and younger moms, which I assume she's talking about you. So it's
That's
probably
me.
it's so great to talk, I'm sure, to have somebody in the group who understands the demands of motherhood.
Yes. Yes, and it is fun because, yeah, we're in very different phases of motherhood.
Mhm.
And I think sometimes people forget that when they think you have kids, it's just all the same demands, and it's very different. Like her scheduling and activity level is just way higher than mine, right? And my maybe like emotional toll and regulation is a lot higher than what she's doing. So it's just, kids demand a lot at different phases of their lives. But yeah, she's been so understanding and helpful, just knowing the toll that can be put on your shoulders as the mom in the house, and how everybody needs you at the same time, and
Yes.
yeah, like all the work of housework, I guess, that also falls on top of
The
that.
invisible load
Yes, yes.
and nobody sees, but yet you're like, "But I do you not see how I am unloading the dishwasher and doing the laundry and putting away the groceries?" And, like, I'm doing it's nonstop, and as soon as you think you're done, then the dishwasher dings, and it's just it's nonstop. So, yeah, and you're right, the emotional toll for the ei how old are your kids now?
So 5 and 2.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It's so I'm mine are now 11 and 8, and so we're kind of beyond that. They're my best friend, so we can
Yes.
talk and
Yeah.
talk things out, and it's not as emotionally taxing, but there's different
It's different.
yeah, there's different demands, and we are now entering the stage of there's something going on all the time. So it's like, okay, you have to be here. I
Yeah.
have to be in 4 places at once. Who's picking
Yeah.
who up? That sort of thing. Yeah. You posted a story you posted a reel yesterday, kind of a typical
Yeah.
day in the life, which I know is as a mom, there's no typical day, but it was you running a workout and then doing all these activities with your kids, swimming. You were skateboarding, which is a fun little fact.
Yeah.
Bike riding, all this stuff all day long, doing all the chores. And then as soon as your husband comes home, you're out to do your second run of the day and you're running 20 plus miles in a day and then coming home and it's more mom stuff, more household stuff, and then finally trying to get them to bed. So, I mean, even just saying it, it's tiring. What are your secrets to staying energized?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a secret. I think that everybody knows how to stay energized. It's just like, do you take those steps to take care of yourself? Which we have previously talked about. Number one is sleep. And it is amazing, like, how much, like, we all know we need to get sleep, but how much it compounds when you start going to bed maybe like 30 minutes to an hour earlier than normal, or you practice like the sleep hygiene where the lights are dimmed, you're not on your phone right before bed, just how much deeper of sleep you get and how much that adds up. I find it really, like, yeah, really impactful when I'm like prioritizing sleep just a little bit more, because there'll be times when I start falling to, going to bed at 10:30 or 11, and you kind of just shift slowly the other way as well and being like, I'm fine, I'm totally fine. And I'm like, why am I so exhausted? And then I start going back to like 9:30 bedtimes. And it's like, I don't know, you just feel like so much better, which I definitely am a morning person. I know some people shift, like they're better at night. I'm not better at night.
Same. I'm a morning person too. After my coffee, I still need my coffee.
Yeah, right. And yeah, that's funny too. I do think part of it is because that was a workout day that I filmed. I take caffeine on workout days, and I don't take caffeine on non-workout days.
Mm.
And so, well, I do like pack everything more into workout days than I do on non-workout days.
'Cause you're because of the caffeine.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm energized. Like even after a workout, I'm still
The
energized.
kids were like, Mom, I wanna watch a movie," and you said, "No, we're riding bikes."
And another little secret hack that it makes it look so busy, but actually I feel like my life is less busy because we get out, like busy is maybe even the wrong word. We get out. So I'm never like cleaning my house.
Yeah, no, that's key. And moving, because when you sit down, that's when you're like, "Oh my gosh, I cannot keep my eyes open."
Yes, you stay moving and just also, yeah, I don't know. Kids just do so much better. My kids are just so much more regulated when we're outside. And so it just honestly makes my job easier. They do better when we're playing. And so it might look like crazy, like, I can't believe you go do all that stuff, but actually it's so much better than if I'm trying to entertain my kids inside or like entertain them with toys. My kids just do so much better with movement. And sometimes even if I'm too tired, because I said in that post, like, not every day looks like that.
Mhm.
Sometimes we go to the library. Sometimes, I sit on the grass and I'm like, you guys can just play at the park if I'm really done. And so, yeah, I feel like managing energy levels that way. Oh, and the other key thing I would say that I do, my kids are at the age where like downtime, we basically take like a family nap.
Mhm.
And they're so responsive to the nap because I nap with them. Whereas, like, I feel like you're trying to get things done. So it's like we really are, I'm like really on with them and then we're really off together. So like,
Mhm.
when you sync the off and on, I feel like that's so much easier than if you're trying to like relax and be off and your kids are on.
Yes.
That's so hard. Or you're want to be on and your kids need to be sleeping. Like it's just, yeah. I think it's really helpful to sync the off and ons together.
Yeah, that's really a fascinating theory, and that makes total sense because then also you're not getting frustrated. Because I remember when my kids were little, I was working from home, and so I would have client calls when they were supposed to be
Mhm.
taking naps, and they would not go down,
Yeah.
and it was so frustrating, and then I would have a hard time because 'cause I'm getting dysregulated because 'cause I'm like, "Oh my gosh, but I have this call and you need to go to sleep," and then they feed off of that.
Yeah. And I felt that like when my husband's been working and I want to get my run in before dinner time and I'm like, I need you to nap because I need to run during your nap.
Right.
And you're just like, please nap. So I get that. Like it is really hard to sync that up. And sometimes, that looks like just having them take the time to practice that time. And for me, it works the best when my kids are really on. So if you do like a mediocre time, I don't know if you found this before your kids are off, they're not going to turn completely off. You have to be like really on with them for them to like turn off. And my kids just always nap better or like stay quiet better, or just are more regulated when we get big on time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, it forces you to be more present with them too, because if I stayed in the house, that was always my MO when they were little was to get out and go do something big and fun outside of the house, and then we'd come home and have our quiet time. But yeah, I when I'm in the house, then I'm distracted because oh, there's laundry to do, or oh, let me just
Mhm.
check this email or
Yeah.
whatever. And so I would be a better mom when I would get out. And it's just good, I think, for your mental health too, to just
Yes.
get outside. And anytime my kids were crying too, I was like, "We're going outside."
We're going outside. Everybody's too cramped. Everyone outside.
Yeah. And then the neighbors are like, "Wow, people are always crying at Whitney's house." I'm just maybe they said that. I don't know.
They did, but you're still a good mom.
So, okay, sleep is important. And I read that you were really serious about the sleep training, which is
Yeah.
just miraculous to me. I was so bad and I couldn't do it. And that's a game changer because I swear I didn't have more than 2 kids because the sleep deprivation did me in.
Hard.
So how
Well
did you do it?
well, it's funny, right when you said that, my first thought was that people think that serious might be the wrong word. Not serious, the consistency. So it's not like I was, like, strict, like, you have to sleep, sleep, sleep. But like I was just like me and my husband, like Mike played a very big role in the consistency because he's so good and relentless about things. But like when it comes to like getting something done, he does not budge. He's like, if we said we're gonna get this done, we're gonna get this done. And it's just like the consistency of whether the kid was regressing or whether the kid was having a good day, but like the consistency of the cues, the consistency of like the timing was taken seriously.
Mhm.
And yeah, I was really open to a lot of times just being like, you know what, they're not sleeping, like that's okay. And honestly, actually that was a shift with the second kid. Cause the first time around, it was like, no, she's not sleeping. Like I need to get my run in. Whereas
Mhm.
like with Wakefield by that time, I was like, okay, you know what, if they don't sleep, like that's totally fine. I'm open to running right now, or maybe I'll have to be open to running at 7 tonight. Like it's totally fine. And so yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess we followed like kind of simple basic rules of sleep training. I don't even like the word sleep training. It kind of makes me
Yeah,
cringe.
it kind of makes well, it makes it sound like it's the Ferber is it Ferber method? Like, cry it out method?
Oh, yeah, like right. It's like not like we let them cry it out, but we're not quick to react.
Mhm.
We're definitely like observers and being like, do they need our help or do they not? Let them for a second. And if it really was a problem, we get them. And if it's like, oh, actually, they just went back to sleep, I would say it's like kind of that pausing instead of just being like really reactive to any noise our kids were making. And then also, yeah, I mean, I think it's so beautiful to co-sleep. And like I said, I get my co-sleeping in with the napping
During the naps, yeah.
during the naps.
My 8-year-old son still sleeps with me. It's so he's still like, "Mom, I have to hold your hand."
Yeah, it's so beautiful. I think it's a great connection. But yeah, like you said, like I did need like to make sure that I was really getting my sleep. And so the kids like learned to sleep by themselves quickly. So
Which is
yeah.
awesome, and I love that you and Mike were on the same page with that too.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, we were. Mike's an incredible human being. He's been such it's been really cool to watch him become a dad. And just like fulfill the measure of his creativity and it was just still ongoing, honestly. He's so creative with our kids and the things he wants to do. And then yeah, just like I said before, he's so consistent with just wanting to teach our kids and being intentional with like what we're teaching them, how we're teaching them. He's a good dad.
That is so awesome. I guess he's always known you as a runner, so he views your running as your job, right? We
Yeah.
it's not this
Okay.
okay, sorry,
Well,
yeah.
that's just funny. So we've had talks about that where I'm like, do you see this as my job? Like,
Mhm.
or do you think this is a hobby?
Right.
Because like sometimes it can feel like I'm not being prioritized.
Mhm.
Which is, like, fair and unfair to say because he is also, like, trying to prioritize his work at the same time, right? And figure out, like, how he can be fulfilled and also really help, like, sustain our family financially because I'm not, like, carrying that full load as he is. And so I get that. And so we kind of have had to talk it out
Mhm.
and be like, okay. And he is the most respectful person. He's like, of course I see, I'm so sorry that it was like communicated this way because he's like, of course I see this as a full-time job and that you are like, this is constantly, adding up or not. And so yeah, he's very supportive of seeing that as a job.
That's
But we have had to
awesome.
talk about it. That's what I was trying to
Well,
say.
but it's awesome that you
We
guys
all
have
talked
talked
about
about it.
it. Yeah.
'Cause, yeah, it's running is it's very demanding, especially I mean, obviously, at your level, and it does overlap as it's something that you would be doing anyways, but you're lucky
Mhm.
enough or you've worked hard enough that it is your job, you get paid to do it, and so I
Mhm.
can see how it is kinda murky because it's not like, "Oh, I just have to finish these files or, spreadsheets." I don't
Yeah.
It's like, no, I have to go hammer out a 20-mile workout, and then I
Right.
have to make sure that everything around that is supporting my health, because if it doesn't, then it's gonna fall apart,
Yeah.
and if
And you know
I
what?
fall apart, that everybody's gonna
Yeah.
fall apart.
You know what's so funny about the comment you just made is sometimes I tell Mike that I don't need you to like change anything or like take any of the burden. I just need to be appreciated. Just appreciate that I ran 17 miles this morning and I'm like taking the kids out and I'm going for a second run. So just like,
Be
and then
seen. See me.
just tell me, yeah, that
I
really
literally just
means
had this
so.
conversation with a friend. My son has his friends over, and I was talking to the mom. We literally had the same conversation.
Yes.
Like, I just want you to see all that
Yes. All
I'm
the
doing.
doing.
Yes. That's all. I don't need help. I don't even
Yeah.
need a medal or anything. I just want
Yeah.
you to see.
Be like, you're amazing. That's all I need.
I
Like, thank
wonder
you. And I'm done.
Right,
Move
yeah,
on.
that's it. Just tell me I'm amazing every day, and I wonder if guys feel that way too. I feel like they probably do
You probably do a
in
little
a
bit.
way.
Yeah. But it might just be fulfilled a little bit differently. I don't know.
Yeah, now we're into the love language.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I'm words of affirmation all the way.
Words of affirmation is very helpful. It's just, nothing, there's no room to question with words of affirmation. Like it's straight to the point.
Yeah. But you have to say it with meaning, though.
Yeah.
Just say it
Yes.
because you know I wanna hear it.
Yeah.
Look me in the eyes and tell me how amazing I am.
Love
Um
it.
Alright, so backtracking now to the pregnant running. When
Yes.
you reached out to Ryan Hall to coach you and you were thinking, "Okay, will you take me on after I have my baby?" And he said, "No, we're getting started now."
Yeah.
It sounds like there was no hesitation. You've never been worried about working hard while pregnant.
Yeah. So yeah, first off, that was like such a like an early Christmas present almost. When he sent that text, he's like, "No, we'll start now." I'm like, "Really? Okay." Like, I was so sometimes you want to be smaller and you want to like not take up so much space, and I was like, "You can just worry about me later after I have my kid. Like, don't worry about me right now." And I was so glad he did because I was losing so much motivation that second pregnancy. I had taken a break. So my first pregnancy, I kind of was like trailing off of the fitness I already had. And that second pregnancy, I raced up until like 6 weeks of being pregnant and then I took a break. And I was having such a hard time getting back into running and feeling that accountability and feeling like, oh, I'm pregnant. Like maybe I shouldn't be the crazy pregnant lady and I should just like go with how I feel. And, I just didn't want to be intense, especially because everyone was like, you're so intense about your pregnancy. I was like, maybe I should just swing the opposite way. And I was so happy that he did because I just wasn't feeling good. I don't think that I worked well in that mode of operation
Mhm.
of just not pushing myself.
Yeah.
And so it was interesting as well because it was kind of I mean, when you say like I'm not afraid, it's not that I'm not afraid. Like I'm aware, but I stayed a lot in the mode of like curiosity and I'm open to both results, right? Like I'm open to being totally fine. I'm open to okay, like something's gonna go wrong and we need to be careful here. And my body will tell me, but like maybe if something is going wrong, I should stop. And so with Ryan, it was interesting because we approached the workouts more in like a 5K mile fashion versus my first pregnancy. I kind of approached it more as like a time on feet and my workouts definitely weren't as hard. And so I pushed it a little bit the second pregnancy, realizing like that maybe I could push that reality again. And it was just an interesting result. I was definitely by the end of my pregnancy on that one, like the bottom of my foot was hurting a little bit. I could feel something in my hip. And I was like, I need to get this baby out. Like, I think I'm kind of pushing the line a little too much. Because I think in terms of the baby is totally fine. I
Mhm.
think that most of the time, if someone is approaching it in the same manner that I would be more worried about the woman than I would about the baby.
Yeah.
And the baby's going to get the nutrients that they need, right? And be safe and protected. But yeah, you do run the risk of damaging yourself. And I think I also took on that risk because I know how strong I am in the weight room. I've ran like 60 to 70 miles with a lot more weight on me that wasn't pregnancy weight, just kind of being a little bit overweight in my earlier years. And so I yeah, I felt like that kind of provided some confidence for me to be like, my body can handle this and I'll be okay.
And it clearly helped you with your postpartum return because then you turned around and was it 6 months later you qualified for the Olympic trials marathon, and then 10 months postpartum, you placed 7th in Orlando at the trials.
Yes, that was with Wakefield. With Lou, I qualified 6 months postpartum in the 10K and then raced 7 months postpartum at the trials. So it was a little bit tighter of the schedule.
And so, did you qualify for the K Olympic trials after Wakefield as well?
No. So what ended up happening actually was that's when I got long COVID. So what was so exciting to me about the marathon was I actually think I'm a better 10K runner than the marathon. And I was really excited to use the marathon as kind of this jumping block for track. And so I just didn't feel a lot of pressure, which is probably part of the reason I did so well at the trials. And when we entered the 10K phase post trials, my first race back was the weekend I got COVID and I dropped out of that race. And so then I've been dealing with that for a year. So back in January, I started to kind of feel glimpses of feeling better where I'd feel good for like the first 2 weeks of my menstrual cycle. And then the second 2 weeks of my menstrual cycle, there was always something happening and I wouldn't adapt. I still wasn't adapting as much, but I was definitely seeing like, okay, I think I can start building something. It's just slow. And then around June, I actually started to be like, okay, I'm done. I think long COVID, like I'm back to being healthy and fit again. So really, I just kind of have restarted since June.
Really? Okay. Wow. Yeah, COVID, it's wild what it can, or
Mhm.
even just viruses in general. The
Yeah.
viral load can really mess with our bodies, and it's nuts that Western medicine hasn't figured out
Yeah, I
how
know.
to
Right?
handle it.
You're like, wow, we don't have everything figured out.
We definitely don't. Um, okay. So you took a break in the second pregnancy. Is that because you felt like people were telling you to?
I definitely have like a people pleaser mentality. So I don't think anybody was like, you need to take a break. It was more just like I had finished my racing schedule and I was like, okay, I do need to take a break. And then this mentality of just like people just like, again like taking up too much space. I just didn't want to take up too much space and I didn't want to be too loud. And so I was like, maybe I should just be super mellow with running and like because that everybody because people do it's like just little side comments, right? Like we're just like, wow, that woman, like they're not even talking about me, like right, they're talking about someone else where like that woman's training way too hard through pregnancy and maybe they're right, like I don't know, but I think those comments sometimes get in my brain and I'm like, okay, maybe I was too intense. Maybe I should just like relax and not run very much and
Or
be
you're like,
normal.
"No, I'm a beast and respect this." So when you say taking up too much space, you mean just, like, asking for help so you can continue to train, that sort of thing?
Yeah, that's definitely part of it. But I think also taking up space when you do things that are not normal, people comment, whether it's good or bad, then that is taking up space. And sometimes that's hard to like I don't know if you've ever felt this. It's like sometimes when you go out for a run and you just don't want to be seen by anybody. Have you ever felt that?
Always wanna be seen. I'm just like, "On,
You're like, nobody look at
look
me.
at me!"
Everyone in the car passing by is looking at you. I sometimes feel like I have to have, which my dad's always so great about this. He's always like, McKenna, no one's looking at you. I'm like, I know, but it feels like it sometimes. So
Well, it's because you're wearing jeans.
it's,
Just kidding.
it goes like straight out of the 90s. Oh, God.
She's wearing sports bra and jeans, of course they're gonna look at you.
But
No, I'm just kidding.
absolutely also what you were saying is asking for help is so hard. And like when I'm running or working out like twice a day, 5 days a week, once a day on Saturday. Like that's a lot of times to ask someone to rearrange their schedule, ask like, or pay someone or ask someone like to just hang out with your kids. And it's never ending. Like running, you can't, like, I've talked to a friend who's not even a professional. He's like, I'm not even a professional. I feel like I can't miss a run. And you have to do this like you can't
Mhm.
miss a run. I'm like, I know
Right.
it's crazy. So it can feel very relentless if you kind of let it start getting to your head. or if you don't have a scheduled thing happening, right? And a lot of times I didn't have something scheduled, and I was constantly trying to like figure out the balance with my husband, and we figured out more of a schedule now, but it is hard. It's really
It's
hard to
so
figure it
hard.
out. Yeah, and
Yeah,
it
and you have to
changes.
do it
Yeah.
every day. I mean, you get to do it, but it's yeah, you can't.
Mhm.
But even I don't know, I think a lot of runners are hardwired that even if we're not getting paid to do it, it's still like, we can't miss our run.
No, absolutely,
It's
absolutely.
just because it's so important for our mental health. You took a break, and that was a very eye-opening experience for you that it's going against the fabric of who you are.
Mhm.
You're not meant to be small. You're not meant to be mellow and mail it in and chill and in the corners. That's not who you are. And so you realize that. But even, yeah, I'm not getting paid to run, but I can't miss a run. It's
Yeah.
drive me crazy. As much as I want to be flexible and I'm like, oh, fine, I'll do it is very hard. It just,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, and it is like in reality, it's also very important for our bodies to be calloused in that way. And if you keep being inconsistent with that, like you're just not gonna get the same results. So it totally makes sense why we think we can't miss a run.
But it's also yeah, but it, also then depending on the mood you're in, you can step back and be like, "Oh, but it can seem very selfish."
Yeah.
Now, for you, I can say, "But you're getting paid to this is your job, but it's something that is benefiting you."
Mhm.
So, in this society where it's like self-care is selfish or whatever, but I don't even think it's
Mhm.
self-care, I think it's a necessity.
Yeah.
But, I was thinking about that earlier today because I ran Chicago and I went ahead and signed up for my next marathon and
Yeah.
so excited, but I'm like, "Is that selfish?" But then I'm like, "No, it's because it is time consuming." But then I'm like, "No, it's not selfish." I mean, it's
Yeah.
one morning a week that it's gonna impact anybody,
Yeah.
really,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
long run, you
And
know?
it yeah, it's definitely not selfish. I think self-care becomes harmful when it's indulgent, right? When you're kind of like sloughing off like other responsibilities and you can't handle any load of anybody inconveniencing you.
Yeah.
And that is selfish. Like I totally think that. Do not think it's selfish. I do not think it is self-indulgent if you are able to be inconvenienced, you're able to still help other people, and you're able to set aside time for both of those things, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
My definition also is if it's enriching like the other parts of your life,
Yes.
then it's definitely worth it. If it's taking away
Yeah.
because you're spending that time and or then you're drained the rest of the day
Mhm.
more often than not, then things
Yeah.
are out of balance. But
Yeah.
if it's filling your cup and making you happy and ready to be your best self the rest of the day, then
Then
keep doing it.
agreed.
This is a good pep talk. I'll just listen to this episode if I start to feel bad, like, "Oh, I shouldn't have signed it." No, but I actually don't really. I don't. I just like that thought popped into my head, and then I pushed it away. So your postpartum return, your most recent postpartum return, how did everything feel? Because you trained hard. It seemed like it set you up for success, but was it a pretty
Yeah.
return?
It was different. It was definitely different. I actually think I mean, part of that is I don't think I built the same base that I did with my first child. So like I said, the training was just a lot more volume based with my first child and not quite as intense. And I come off of that, like me personally, I just come off of that as an athlete a lot better. And so I think aerobically I felt a lot better with my first kid. But um I I did feel, with my second kid, so the aerobic, like, didn't quite come as quickly, and I think that was because of what we did during pregnancy. And some people work the other way, some people do really well off of speed, and I think I do really well off of volume. And, I think, like, structurally, I was a little slower to, like, my hips coming back together, and I could feel, like, my first run that I felt a little more Bambi-like
Mhm.
uh, than I did with my first. And so I approached it differently. I didn't, like, press things as quickly, even though I mean, I started just as early, but I didn't build as because I was patient and like made sure, things felt structurally more sound, and tried to do a little more core reactivation. So yeah, it actually felt a lot slower coming back with the second kid. And then also sleep, like we talked about. Sleep is so important, and it is a lot trickier when you have another little one running around and you're trying to get your sleep with a newborn. And that added up. I could tell that was starting to take its toll. I remember actually crying one morning because I told my husband, I was like, I don't think I'll ever be a professional runner again. I was like, I think this is it. This is maybe like 3 or 4 months in. And it is just so tricky when you're trying to like rebalance intensity on your body while also being in that newborn stage. And so I would say around the 4 month mark, like something shifts and things kind of get better with the sleep compounding. And then around the 6 month mark, like hormonally, things just get a lot better. And so I kind of just had to wait it out and again just let things like compound and then things started turning around. And yeah. But I would say that 231 or third, I can't remember what I ran at McCurdy, 6 months postpartum, 230 felt like it didn't feel magical. Like it didn't feel like marathons have in the past felt for me. It kind of felt like a grind and I didn't feel like super fit. And then coming off of that marathon, I felt a lot better because again, I respond to volume and I kind of need a jumping block before things start like clicking. So yeah,
So, how much volume does your body like?
marathon training. That's the
Right. So, are we
vol-
talking over
so
100 miles a week or?
yeah, you know what's funny? It doesn't have to be 100 miles a week. It's more the purpose. So when I'm starting to log like 90 minutes plus on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, or 2 to 3 times a week, that is when my body, I think, like starts responding versus, trying to break up runs more because you're trying to be fresh for speed. Like it could look like the same amount, like 80 miles a week, right? Or 90 miles a week. But I just do a lot better with the base of, that 90-minute, 2 hour long run, like at least twice a week.
How'd you figure that out?
Man, it's been a lot of years. Because it's definitely something that kind of started happening like accidentally where I didn't like where I was, looking at the picture this big and being like, why am I running so fast right now? Like, because I ate this and I'm like sleeping like this. And then I started to widen the picture and realize like, no, wait a second. Like every time I've started to run my fastest 5K, 10Ks, I've come off of this. And yeah, it's just about widening the lens. And I'm honestly like that's a lot of like basic training. If you read like some of the earlier scholars, Lydiard was the
Mhm.
guy that I started to read about. And, you always start off with kind of that early base training. And I think people just want to jump into workouts and see the results right away without building this like foundation. And it's tempting because you can race all year round and you can
Mhm.
do that. But if you just take a step back and like take the time to do that, I think it is really helpful.
Yeah, and ease into it too. Don't think, "Oh, wow, I have to run X amount of miles
Yeah.
to build my base, and I'm just gonna jump in and do it." You have to work up
Yeah.
to it and
Yeah.
allow your body to adapt.
Yeah, this high school kid just asked me, like, "What mileage did you start seeing, like, results?" Which I thought was a really good question, and I was like, "You know what's funny? It's like, it wasn't the number of miles." I was like, "It's when I started to be purposeful." Like, I'd run 120 miles before, but
Mhm.
I wasn't purposeful at all, and, like, things weren't clicking. But then like, when I dropped back down to 70, 75 miles and was purposeful, like, then things started clicking
Mhm.
or 60 even like, and I know that sounds high, really high to some people, but yeah, and so then I'm able to take that purpose and then start adding over the years and years, and then 100 miles actually means something, right? You can anyone can hit, not anyone, but like a lot of people can hit 100 miles if they've been running for a bit.
Mhm.
But to hit it with purpose and quality, it hits differently.
Yeah, and your body has to be ready for it. Like, you have to
Absolutely.
train at a certain level and feel comfortable, and then you can kinda feel, like, your body asking for more.
Yes.
Like, "Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
it's like
ready
the
for
fitness
more."
comes to you and you're not
Yeah.
forcing it. That's a beautiful spot to be in. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the lesson that I learned that I was telling you before we hit record that my coach was like, "Let's go for the OTQ. Okay, gonna jump you from 50 miles to 100 miles over the
Oh,
summer."
wow.
Yeah, and at this time, I was not my kids were super little, I wasn't sleeping, I was working from home with them home, and
Yeah.
everything just broke down, but I think maybe he just thought people have ideas of, "Okay, if you're gonna run this certain marathon time, this is the type of volume that you're supposed to be running." So, it was kind of an experiment, and for some people, it may work, but for me, especially in my stage of life, it did not work because
Yes.
sleep is everything. I definitely was not getting the nutrition that I needed to be doing all that. And so you've talked about the game changer of compounding those small habits of making sure you're fueling right. You're not
Mhm.
well, I like how you drew the similarity to your toddlers. They're just eating goldfish all day and not taking a nap. I mean, they're going to be a disaster. So if we're not fueling our bodies well and getting enough sleep, of course, we're going to feel like a mess too, right? I mean,
Yeah. Isn't
so
it funny how much your toddlers make you realize how much of a child you still are? I'm the child.
I just want somebody to take care of me and treat
Yeah.
me like a child. You be the one to make me dinner and tuck me in at night and make sure I'm getting a full night's sleep.
We all need it. We all do.
Yeah, so you talked about how you were intentional about your sleep and your whole family's sleep because to me one of the hardest parts of being a mom is it feels like the sleep is not your own. When you read for me at least, it's everywhere you read said, good sleep hygiene, do this, and I'm doing all this, but it's the fact that my
Mm,
kids are up 1,000 times or my dogs are throwing up in the middle. That kind of stuff happens, but you were able to control that variable, level that up.
yeah.
Were there other things? What are the other like micro habits that you leveled up to make sure that you were as healthy as you could be?
Yeah, I love that question, but I do want to say first that I do feel like a little bit like there's a little bit of luck involved with the sleep thing, right? Like sometimes your kids, like for my kids both have something they sleep with,
Mhm.
and that's so helpful. And sometimes kids don't latch on to something, and so it's like I get like not every kid comes like it wasn't just everything we did, and that's why we have perfect sleepers and not that we have perfect sleepers, but just like they definitely like sleep through the night. We could bank on them sleeping through the night. They don't come out, and there's just like little things like that that just happen to work out for us. And I say that because I just don't want other moms to ever like feel bad if their kids like aren't sleeping through the night uh
Mhm. Yeah.
or maybe their kid doesn't need quite as much sleep. But yeah, I would say like I mean, we mentioned this before with just in terms of off and on. I
Mhm.
feel like that is a huge compounder for me is to be able to turn things all the way off and to be able to turn things all the way on. Whether that is like in a run where my easy runs, like things are like I don't have to bring anything that I don't have. It's just easy. Like the pace does not matter. The time on my feet matters, and being able to kind of just shut down your mind a little bit on those days versus on a hard run day like being able to turn things all the way on. And I'm trying to think of other examples that happens, but that I feel like that also that happens with just like my kids and being able to I don't know, emotionally like help them through things.
Mhm.
I'm really on, with that. And then if I need to be off, like I take my space away from them. I'm like, you are going to sit here and draw. I'm going to be off,
Mhm.
just completely off. Don't talk to me. And sometimes they break that, and they won't come talk to me. But I feel like I've been good at practicing needing my space and just not doing this like in between thing where I'm
Mhm.
kind of there, kind of not. It's like I'm either all the way there or not.
I love that so much.
Yeah, I think that's helpful for your kids too. It gives them a boundary. Like,
It's teaching them boundaries.
yeah.
It's teaching them how to be fully present with someone, which is so hard to do nowadays. And I remember that from the first time we chatted where you mentioned something about how you don't like to be on your phone around your kids. You like to be fully engaged with them. And I thought that was so awesome because So
It's
many, I mean,
hard.
I'm guilty of it. I mean, when I get a
I'm
text
guilty
and
too.
yeah, it's so hard. I really wanna go back to the flip phone.
Yeah, right. I know, and yeah, it really, like I mentioned before, just makes you realize, like, how much of a kid you are because of all the flaws you just start seeing that you don't want your kids to
Mhm.
emulate, or see. I'm like, man, I maybe I do use my phone too much because I'm a normal human and it's built for addiction.
Yes.
And addiction's a strong word, but also
But it is,
accurate.
I mean, it is, right? I mean, it's that dopamine hit or whatever. Man, yeah, I wish I could go back to not having. I wonder what kind of people we would all be if we didn't have it.
Well, I will add, sorry, one more thing you reminded me. I also forgot we would do like small wins as well to help like compound. And when it became really important, we like Mike would write them on a piece of paper and we'd tape it up so that we could remember and kind of do little check marks. But that kind of like solidified a lot of like the compounding outside of kids. Like, did you roll out today? You get to put a like check mark and trying to find like 10 check marks. Where you on Instagram is actually one of them. But you reminded me, it's like social media all day, check. Or, did you get 2 vegetables in? Check. Did you go sauna? Check. It's just like little things that were kind of like the one percenters because I feel like we've already kind of structured our lives where we're doing the most that we can. And then it's kind of fun, like as an elite athlete, to start seeing where you can get like the 1%. Yeah, which is
Love that. I love that for a lot of reasons because I love the small wins, obviously, but also that your husband is buying into it and supporting you and doing that too.
yeah, I told you when he says he's like, if you ask me for help, he will make it happen.
So are you keeping track of his small wins too?
Yeah, I know I should be, huh? Gosh darn it. His small wins are I'm like, we should do that. His his job is not quite as black and white as mine.
Well, you can do small wins for him for all the small wins of yours that he's tracking, maybe, and all the support of,
I'll do the small wins for any time he contributes to the kids. How much time did you spend with them this morning? Like 30 minutes. It's so funny on that note, though, like even in the mornings, sometimes I like to meet earlier. It's kind of this like you get to make the kids breakfast or I have to make the kids breakfast. So if we meet later, I have to make the kids breakfast. And if we
Mhm.
meet earlier, Mike ends up making the kids breakfast. And so it's just kind of like a funny, I don't think either of us like doing it. So I'm always like, I'm out.
What are you making for breakfast that's
Well,
so
it's not even making
involved?
it's you the kids I don't know if your kids are like this, they take so long to eat, they don't wanna eat, like, what you have or what you've made, because it's actually healthy, and I'm like, "Just eat your eggs and we can leave." We just make eggs, but lately, Mike has been very creative, again, like, trying to sneak in the eggs where it's
Check
more
mark.
of like yeah, like check mark, where he'll make like crepes or like pancakes or muffin. I've made the muffin variation, but they're basically eggs with a little bit of flour because we're just like really trying to make sure they start off the day with protein and it makes such a big difference with their moods that day. So it's just helpful.
Yeah, yeah. I really like the crepe idea. I'm gonna write that down. I forgot about crepes. I used to love
They're
crepes.
good. Yeah, they're way
So
good.
good. They're fun. I mean, I can see how kids would be really into them. They're fun. You can put
Yeah,
whatever you want in there.
true. There's a lot of fruit. You can always mash up fruit for like a syrup too. It's good. Yeah.
Good. All right. Well, before we get to our cool down portion of the interview, what would you say is the biggest challenge being a professional mother?
Oh, the biggest challenge. Yeah, it's definitely recovery. And I think we've kind of mentioned some of it already, but I'll go a little more in depth because kids are just on a lot more than you want to be on. But yeah, like I'm like picturing like when you say challenge, like when I'm trying to get my run in and someone's screaming at me from the bathroom and they're like, "Hey, like I need to be wiped." And I'm like,
Right.
"No, I'm in the middle of my run." On the treadmill or just my kids screaming at me to because they don't want me to leave, right? And they're like having this mental breakdown that I have to go work out and take time for myself. And they're like, no. And in the big picture, it's like, this is good for you. This is good for you. But then it's a small picture. I'm like, oh, my kid's so stressed. I don't want to leave them. And so I think it's really challenging trying to figure out how to, make sure your kids like feel loved and that you are showing up and then taking time for yourself. It's just a constant, like relentless balance. Like it's like you don't just get it right, check, and like you got it. It's all the time. And your kids are gonna be asking you all the time, and they're not asking you straight out, right? They're asking through your actions, like, do you love me? And you get to show them that. But I think, right, you have to be able to zoom out and be like, I'm taking time for myself and you are still loved and you're still like very valuable in this space and worth of a person, but this is like time for me. And it's just so tricky because it's just relentless. They always want more of you.
You'll see as they get older the positive impact of your running on them. As far because my kids would cry, they would hang on to me. It was so hard. It's why I started the Mother Runners, actually, because I felt so guilty that I needed that time. But now it's amazing to see how your habits are imparted on them and that they
Yes.
support it and the boundaries of like, I need to do this for me, and you're gonna do things for you, and there's just so many beautiful lessons that you start to see unravel as time goes on.
I love that.
Yeah, I totally feel that. It goes back to what we were talking about in the very beginning of just it all changes. It's all different ages and stages and
Totally.
yeah. Okay, so now we're gonna cool down.
Okay.
Are you so you're alone in a hotel room for the
Yeah.
I know, isn't that so weird? I bet it feels so weird.
It's so great. Don't you just like go outside and you're like, do people even know I'm a mom? I'm not even carrying anything that indicates that I'm a
I don't have
mom.
trash in my pockets.
Or like you see someone with kids and I'm like, I know what that's like. I know it. But
Yeah.
and I want you to know I know what you're going through. Even though it doesn't look like it. Sorry, continue. I did
But you
that.
can also be like, "I am so glad I'm not the one with a toddler having a meltdown in public right now. This is
No,
so
I'm
liberating."
not. Anytime I see a meltdown, I just want to be like, you're doing the best. Like, don't even worry about it. Like, can I help you? I will. It's like you have this like surge of energy. You're like, all of a sudden you can handle anyone's tantrum.
Yeah, it is very different when it's your own kids, and it's the 8th one of the day. Yeah. Okay, so are you watching anything? Are you gonna binge watch a show today?
I should. I watched Nate Bargatze. Bargatze.
We've seen him live
He's
a couple times.
so funny.
So funny.
I mean, I think it's so important to be laughing and relaxed before hard efforts, and so yeah, probably comedy.
That's perfect. Nate Bargatze is perfect. You're gonna have a great race tomorrow. I think that's awesome. Okay, so I know that you train with people a lot in Utah, but do you listen to music at all?
Oh, I totally do. Yes.
What are you listening to?
Um, so I actually listen to a lot of like Christian rap, which
Christian
sounds
rap,
yeah, it's
really?
like it sounds so funny to me because I mean, I was just really into like hip hop and rap in high school and college. And then, you start developing an adult brain and I'm like, wait, this is so degrading. And so
It's so bad.
yeah, but
Ugh.
I love dancing, so I love a good hard beat. And or just like a good pick me up beat. And so I started shifting to Christian rap just kind of like accidentally almost because I was like, oh, this is a clean song, clean song. And then I started realizing that I was getting all these like recommendations and they're all like Christian. I was like, oh, that's why they're clean.
Okay, so tell me one or two rappers I should look up.
Oh my gosh. Wait, I look at my Spotify playlist?
Yeah, yeah, because I'm curious. Because I mean, I love listening to rap too, but it is so, and
It is. NF is one of the guys that I like. There's also like there's a lot of Andy Mineo. He's definitely Christian. NF is not Christian, but most of his stuff is clean. And then wait, there's one more on here that keeps popping up. Oh, Canon. Canon's pretty good too.
okay. I'll
like
look
as
at
in
her.
Canon. I know, I don't know. It's just, yeah, anything that kind of inspires dancing is movement to me, and I enjoy relaxing to that beat. But those are definitely, yeah, I say that, but then I also love listening to nothing and just like being in
Silence.
silence.
The
Yeah.
sound of silence.
Yeah, I usually end up listening to music on the second run of a hard day because it's like I can move a little bit more and it's like not easy days. I will listen to a podcast or a silence.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
listen to podcasts on easy runs. That helps me run slower too.
Yeah. It's helpful. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, running is my version of dancing because 'cause I'm a terrible dancer.
I love it.
I run yeah, 'cause I love listening to music when I'm running.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll ask you one last question. Do you have a pet peeve?
Does it have to be in running?
No, anything.
Oh, pet peeve. Man.
One came to me today of I hate the really loud cars where somebody souped up their engine and it
It's
just
so abrupt.
it's
So
so
abrupt.
abrupt and it just sends this electric visceral reaction through my body when your whole nervous system is just
Yes.
why? Why?
Oh
I
my.
don't understand. Somebody write in and tell me why you would do that to
Well, you would do.
people.
And it definitely hits differently after you've had napping kids and they drive by and they're napping in the car and you're
Oh my
like,
gosh.
"Do not.
I'm gonna hunt you down.
It will let you down." Okay, I'll tell you my pet peeve. You actually
Okay.
helped me think of it. My pet peeve is when people figure out that I am a runner and well, there's a few assumptions that happen. The first assumption is that I eat super healthy and healthy means less calories. I'm
Mm,
like, "No, no, 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 neither of those things." Well, I mean, I do try to eat healthy, but it doesn't mean, like, I don't enjoy normal food.
yeah.
I am trying to eat as anti-inflammatory or get as much protein and vegetables alongside the massive amounts of carbs I'm getting.
They just expect you to open up your purse and be like, look at all of these carrots and
Yeah.
celery that I'm eating all day long.
Like, "You must be so particular about your diet." I'm like, I'm not
Actually,
really."
no, I will eat anything because I have to get the
Yeah.
calories in.
And then the other great thing I love, this is kind of a pet peeve, it's just been kind of funny, is as soon as I tell someone I'm a professional runner, they say, "Oh, so do you run trails?"
Really?
Hmm. I think everybody, like, when you think of a person who, like, gets up and gets after it, like, that person is running on the trails. Like, they're not that road is so boring. Like, who runs on the road?
See, but I'm the opposite. Are you not? To me, maybe one day I'll be drawn to it, but to me, I
Yeah.
find trail running very boring because you have to run so slow.
I know. I agree. No, I totally agree. I'm just saying, like, in the average person's mind, because that's why I'm like, I just every time I'm like, "Oh, I should run the trails. It's so beautiful." I go run a trail and I'm like, "This is so slow." I can't.
And who put all these roots here for me
Yeah.
to trip on?
Through all this.
Thanks a lot, Mother Nature.
But so I totally agree. But I think like the average person thinks like that a trail runner is that's what real running is, and I kind of agree with that. Like, it's definitely more real running to be running on the earth and not on, on the
You just coined a really cool slogan for trail runners. Real running is running on the earth.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I will pen that.
It's like let CLA or I don't even know the trail running brands know about you in that slogan. Okay. Well, yeah, that's a good one. I thought you were going to say something like running's bad. People find out I'm a runner and they say running's bad for you. It's bad for your knees or whatever.
People love to say that too, for sure. It's bad for your knees. I'm like, I think I have better knees than most people I know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's a great comeback. My
Yeah,
knees.
your theory is holding up here.
I am very proud of my knees. That is not a small win. My knees are a very big win.
Big win.
Okay, well, this has been incredibly fun. So if people want to find you, well, you actually probably don't want to be found because you said you don't want to be seen when you're running. But if you want people to find you, where can they do that?
I'm just simply on Instagram as Ben's McKenz, and or you can type in Makenna MYLER, MAKENNA, MYLER. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Or you can find me in Utah. Come find me for a run
On the road,
on
not
the road.
on the trails. Okay, well, we're gonna hop off if you have time to record a bonus episode. That'll be on patreon.com/themotherrunners. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. Would love a rating and review if you can. And Makenna, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This is fun chatting. I like laughing. Yeah.
We actually that hour flew by. So, hey.
Yeah.
All right, I'll see you in a minute.
Okay.
Bye.